No, this title is not clickbait, okay? I actually read a book, okay? I know, calm down. It's big news. Now I know you may be thinking like, "Oh wow, good job. You read a book, dude. Good job. You're like the rest of us." Now I know it's very underwhelming news, okay? I understand that. You can go in the comments and make that's what the comments are for, okay? You can make fun of me all you want down there. But this is a big deal for me, okay? This is a very big deal because number one, it's a novel by Stephen King, okay? This thing is as thick as the Bible. But number two, I am now going to proceed to tell you a whole bunch of things about me that you don't need to know. And I'm just gonna say anyway, because this video is mainly for me and not really for anybody else. So just a heads up, this is probably not going to be very entertaining at all. This is mainly just like a big pat on the back for myself because this is like genuinely. I am very proud of myself for reading a book. But let me explain why am I making an entire video based on me reading a novel that's realistically not a very big deal. But I bought this book 3 years ago. Okay, I bought this book. I've been trying to read this for for 3 years. Okay, I bought this fresh out of high school, and I just now, a few days ago, finished reading it. Get it? Get it? Cause it. So I'm gonna tell you this journey that I have been on, that I've taken myself on for reading this book. I'm not going to tell you what it's about. All right, I'm going to make a video about that at some other point and stuff. But there's going to be announcements at the end of this video. So if you are interested in that, then make sure you stick around because there's some big news coming. But Stephen King's It, a novel. Wow. Okay, 3 years once again. It's not. I mean, this book has been like a meme in like my friend group that I made at college. Okay, I bought this before I met my friends. Okay, so that's kind of insane. And they just they like making fun of me because I'm an extremely slow reader. Okay, I am borderline dyslexic. So I just like words get jumbled up in my brain quite often, and I cannot for the life of me read out loud. If you couldn't tell in any of my other videos, I've tried doing that multiple times, and it just sounds like a toddler is trying to learn English for the first time. So I'm not good at reading, okay? I struggle with reading quite a bit. And I've tried tackling this book about 3 separate times, all right? I'd read from the start of the book until page like 250, and then I'd get caught up in like life and stuff, and then I would forget about everything that happened in the first 250 pages, and then I would have to restart it. All right, so I've like restarted reading this book like 3 or 4 times before I actually read from start to finish consistently, and I did it. All right, it took me like 5 or 6 months from the point where I started the book until I actually ended up finishing it without restarting it. All right, so realistically, this took about like 5 or 6 months for me to read, not really 3 years. That was just me struggling to actually, get into the book, because if you've read this, it's Stephen King, okay? It's kind of hard. But this, I'm not kidding you, is the first book I've ever read. Okay. I've read books when I was a kid, but those books consist of Captain Underpants, Bad Kitty, and Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and you throw in some Geronimo Stilton in there, okay? Those are the books that I have read, along with a few books that I've been forced to read throughout my schooling career, from elementary school, middle school, high school. They force you to read these dumb books that nobody cares about. So naturally, ever since I was born, I have hated reading with a burning passion. I've hated books, I've hated reading, because I've been forced to read my entire life, all right? I have been forced to read these stupid books with stupid subjects and stupid characters that nobody cares about, okay? I don't want to read To Kill a Mockingbird, all right? I don't care about Lord of the Flies. Okay, I don't want to read these books because I am being forced to read them. That's the only reason why I think they're bad, is because it's against my will. It's terrible. That's why I've always hated reading. And I can't read out loud, alright? And I have a deep-rooted hatred for reading, and a deep trauma that I'll dive into real quick, is I can't read out loud, okay? Big thing Reading out loud is way different than reading in my head. I'm just extremely slow at reading in my head, and I do mix up the words sometimes, but I can reread it. But reading out loud, don't ever ask me to read out loud, because that is not ever going to happen. It's really bad. I actually do think there's something wrong with me. Have you ever played the game Popcorn? You know what that game is? Huh? It is the worst thing that mankind has ever come up with, all right? Whoever invented the game of popcorn should be dragged out into the street and shot, okay? That was a quote from Garfield, by the way, all right? So don't quote me. That was Garfield in the Christmas special. He did say that in the original cartoon, and I might be saying that quite often, so that was not my words, that was Garfield. But Popcorn, if you don't know, is the game where you read out loud, okay? So in middle school, they would have us read this book. I can't even remember because nobody cares. They would have us read a paragraph of this book, and then you yourself have to cold call on some random poor soul in class for them to read the next paragraph, okay? And guess what? Every single kid who read a paragraph would point to me and tell me to read the next paragraph because they knew I couldn't read. Okay? I would struggle to read that one paragraph for a good 10 minutes. The teacher just let it happen, all right? The entire class would be laughing at me, and the only reason why they would pick on me, it was because I took so long and I soaked up most of the class period trying to read the paragraph, and they didn't want to read. So they're like, he's the safest option, that if we just keep picking him, he'll be reading like about 2 paragraphs in the span of 40 minutes, and then we don't have to read. So that's what they did, okay? I would read a paragraph for about 15 minutes, I'd pick somebody else. They'd read a paragraph for 30 seconds, and then they'd pick me. I'd read a paragraph for 16 minutes, I'd pick somebody else. Do you know who they'd pick? When they were done reading after 20 seconds, they'd pick me again, okay? So I read every other paragraph of this book in class because everybody just, they liked making fun of the fact that I couldn't read out loud. Okay, this is a tragic story. It's a sob story, all right? So feel bad for me, okay? I'm trying to guilt trip you into subscribing. The teacher, once again, didn't do anything about it. It was one of my friends who had to be like, okay, guys, how about you don't pick on him? He literally can't read. And then they stopped. But the point is, I have a deep trauma with reading in words and books, okay? I hate books, I hate reading. And this is the first book that I actually sat down and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start reading as a hobby, okay? Because I realized that a lot of these horror movies that I'm watching, a lot of the ones that I'm reviewing and just watching in my free time for fun, are all based off of novels, okay? There's a lot more movies based off of novels than I thought, okay? It's almost all of them. Like, all of the classic, like, horror movies, almost all of them are just based off of books. So I decided I was going to start reading some of the novels that these original movies were based off of because I want to see how they, like, compare to the movie. I think that would be pretty cool. I forgot that, you know, I can actually pick which book I want to read. Like, my brain could not physically comprehend the fact that I didn't need to have a book assigned to me in order to read it. Like, there's trillions of books in the world, and I just had like this realization that I can just pick whichever book I want to read and then read it for fun. That's like a foreign concept to me for books. So I decided to do that, and I thought, as a joke, okay, as a funny ha-ha, that I was going to pick It, a novel by Stephen King, first, because I wanted to pick the biggest book I could possibly find that I would still be interested in, and that sure as hell was It, alright? Because 1,157 pages, around like 430,000 words, all crammed into one book, alright? And being that I am a slow reader and have a hard time reading in general, I thought it would be really funny for me, borderline dyslexic me, to read It first before I read anything else, okay? And I did not allow myself to read anything other than like manga, which doesn't really count, those aren't really. But I prevented myself from reading anything else until I finished this book, and that took me 3 years. Alright, so this is realistically the only book I've ever read that I read in my free time for fun. I have read the Percy Jackson books. Those are the only other like actual books that I've read. I was actually taken aback like when I started reading this, when there was like graphic scenes. I'm like, whoa, you can do that in books? Like I didn't realize like you can like swear and have like graphic scenes in books. Like I forgot I didn't know like you were allowed to do that with books, and it originated from books, so But this is a big deal, okay? This was a meme in my friend group. 2 of my friends actually bought this book. All right, so they found out that I was reading this book, and I was on page like 300. I was taking forever, and they're like, you know what? We're gonna race. I'm like, no, we're not. 2 of my friends, one of which is my #1 fan on this channel. Shout out to you. Hi. Bought this book in their free time and read the entire thing in like a few weeks just to rub it in my face, okay? Because she's been reading her entire life and is extremely fast at reading. That's like kind of all she does. My other friend did the exact same thing, and they were racing, okay? They were racing. They read this book in less than a month, finished it before I even got to page 400. And made fun of me. They made fun of me because they read the entire book in the time that I read about 100 pages. Okay. These are the types of friends that I have. But it's a big meme. Everybody knows I've been trying to read this book. It's a big thing. And I finally finished it, and I've been waiting 3 years to make this video, and it is so relieving. This book turned from a cool, fun hobby to a challenge that I was determined to overcome to a burden, okay? By the end of this, I didn't even care what was going to happen. I just wanted this to be over so that I could free myself from this book. And you know what? This was way more overbearing than I thought. I had this in the back of my mind because when I finished this book, it was like I walked out of a dog cage that I've been trapped in for about 3 years. Like I didn't know I was carrying so much weight from not finishing this book. I'm a completionist, all right? So when things aren't complete, I start freaking out, and I think my brain was doing that in the background. So I feel so unbelievably free now, and I didn't think this book was doing that to me, all right? It was a good book, okay? I liked it. I finished the book despite my inability to read, and despite all of the trauma that I've had with words, and despite what everybody's been saying, all right? I did it. I read a book. It's not that big of a deal. Nobody actually cares except for me, but look at that. Look at how many pages that is. That's a lot of pages. I did it. I've watched a lot of movies in my time, but this was the biggest challenge mentally for me. It was just reading a book. And I did it. I did it. I read it. Now, I do want to show this off real quick. I did make a bookmark. You see that? I don't know if it'll focus on that, if it is or not. You see that? It's Georgie's boat. So it's a little. I like doing origami. If you didn't know that, which I don't know how you would know that, but I really like doing origami and stuff. So I usually make custom bookmarks for really big books like this, like the manga that I read, or so. Like if I get a really big one, I make a custom little thing, but it looks like a little boat. So it looks like it's been drifting along. It's been drifting along this river of pages for 3 years. It was being taken back by the current and going in the opposite direction a few times, but it made it across the river. It finally made it across the river, okay? So, this is just a video to congratulate myself, because I deserve it, okay? I don't care what you say, you can make fun of me all you want. I'm proud of myself, and that's all that matters, okay? So, I am happy that I read this thing. I can finally move on and read other books, except I'm going to take a long break from reading, I think. I do want to read other books that are normal lengths, like 300 pages and stuff like that, not 1,200. So, I am really excited to read more of Stephen King's like original novels, like Misery. I want to read that so bad, and like The Shining and all, like everything, okay? And I'm really excited that I am allowing myself to read other books now. I'm very excited about that. So, I'm going to show you something really cool that I think is really cool. I'll probably make like a short video about it, but I'll show you it here anyway. And also, I'll be announcing something really cool in a little bit too. So, stay tuned real quick. Hold on, stay here. Don't go anywhere, please. Alright, so this is my personal copy of the book. This thing is completely destroyed now because my hands sweat profusely, which if you have seen any of my videos, you would know that as a fact about me, my hands don't ever stop sweating. I destroyed this book with my hands. Just like the pages are all like yellow, it's disgusting. And the book itself, it's a hardcover, but the actual like book itself is like bending now. It's really bad. Like, hold on, let me show you this. Like, look at that. You see that? Look at that. It's turning white, it's bending, it doesn't even shut anymore, okay? This book has literally been everywhere with me, okay? I've been dragging this thing around in like a brown Target paper bag. Like, so it has been traveling everywhere, and I've just been reading it every here and there. But that's my copy, okay? This is my personal copy that I read. Pretty cool. I just ordered it on like Amazon or something because the bookstores don't really carry hardcover versions of this very often. But as a gift for myself, because I deserve it, I spent $114 on a first printing of Stephen King's It, a novel, which is so cool, okay? This is from 1986, I believe. And this, once again, first edition copy, okay? There's like first editions, like first print, and then second print and third print. This is, I believe, a first print, unless they lied to me. This is at least a first edition, okay? That's all I care about, and it's in great condition, okay? This thing is not really falling apart because a lot of the first edition books from the 80s and sooner are completely destroyed, but I have a first edition print, and this here marks my addiction of collecting books, okay? Like, I need another collection, but this is what I'm going to do, alright? I'm going to get normal prints of the book, I'm going to read it and destroy it with my sweaty hands, and then as a reward, I'm going to buy an original print. Now, I have the most expensive one out of the way, because it is, like, Stephen King's most popular book. It's not the most sold. I think his most sold is, like, The Stand, which I'm never reading, because that's longer than it, and I would rather die, I think. This is pretty cool. I'll give you, like, a little bit, like, of a close-up, at a later date, alright? I'm gonna make a short video on this, so eventually, I don't know when, but it'll come out and you'll see this thing up close and personal, if that's something you're interested in. I think it's really cool, and I'm really happy to have this, because I'm gonna start collecting first editions, and then when I'm rich, which will happen inevitably, I'm going to be collecting the special edition ones with cool slipcases, but the special edition version of it is $1,400, and I don't have that kind of money, okay? So I just bought the first edition printing of it instead of the special edition, because those are limited. There's only like 3,000 of each of them, which, as you know, I love anything that's limited, so, you know, those are going to be a target for when I am rich, but I don't have the budget for those. I never thought that books would be more expensive than the things I already collect, like VHS tapes and movies and stuff. That's, like, insane. I can't have any cheap hobbies, it seems. Now it's time for the big announcement, okay? I have a big thing that I'm planning, a new series on my channel. I already have kind of like a lot of series, and there's really not that many videos in each one, but I have a lot of ideas and I want to do them all now, okay? So it's another series. We have the How Extreme Is It series, which is the biggest one that I have. We have Franchise Killer, which there's only 2 videos, but I'm going to keep going with those. Those just take a really long time and require a lot of money to make. But now we have another one. It's going to be called From Novel to Nightmare, okay? This is a new series on my channel that I'm going to be making starting next month. Is going to be the first episode, hopefully, if everything is on track with what I'm trying to make. In this series, I'm going to be reading the original novel, such as It by Stephen King, and I will be watching the movie adaptation of that novel, but I will be watching every adaptation from that novel. So I'm not just going to be watching this and comparing it to one of the movies. I'm going to be reading this, which I already did, took me 3 years, and I'm going to be comparing it to every movie, okay? So I read this, now I'm gonna go watch the original It from the 1990s, I think. I'm going to watch the newer It movies, which are the 2, and I am also going to be watching It Welcome to Derry, and I am going to be comparing all of the live action stuff with how it compares to everything that I read in the novel and see if they're full of crap. I saved myself with that one. See that? It's good. Yeah. But yeah, that's going to be the basic thing. The first episode is going to be about it. I am going to be watching all of those movies and comparing it with the novel so that I can let you know, what things are different, what they did good, what they did bad, if the movies are better, if the book is better, and how all of the details add up and stuff, and if they don't add up or not. Because a lot of times, movies suck compared to their novels, and I just keep hearing this over and over and over again, and I got so tired of it that now I'm just going to read every novel that a movie is based off of just to see if it's true. So I started with this one, get the big one out of the way. I have not seen It Welcome to Derry, and I have not seen the original It movie from the 1990s because I've been forcing myself to read this before I watch the movie because I really wanted to get this done. But yes, that is the new series. I'm going to be doing it with a whole bunch of other movies. There's a lot of other, like, any Stephen King movie really is probably going to get an episode. I'll also be doing that with manga as well. So, things like Junji Ito's Uzumaki. I read that entire manga, and there's also a movie and a show based off of that. So that's going to be the episode after that one where I compare the manga to the live action and like animated show to see what the differences are. Okay, so it's not going to be just novels, it's going to be manga that have adaptations. So anything that's from a manga or a novel that has an adaptation in movie, like animated or live action, whatever, I'm going to be comparing them. And it's going to be a whole thing. It's going to be really cool. I'm not dressing up for those, okay? That's a franchise killer only kind of thing. But big plans, okay? I'm really excited to be doing this because I don't want this channel to be like strictly just movies and stuff. I want it to be horror in general. And I'm slowly integrating books. And I understand a lot of people who only like horror movies don't really care about the books, so I'm trying to make it entertaining for both people who like the books and don't really care about the books, because I'll be talking about the movies and stuff as well. So I'm looking forward to how you guys think about this new episode that I'm going to be coming out with, this new series. Let me know what your thoughts are if you have listened this far into the video. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in watching. If it's not, too bad, because I'm making it anyway. But just let me know what your thoughts are, because I would really like to know what you think of that idea, and if that's something you'd actually want to watch. So any input is good, so go ahead and comment down whatever you want. But thank you all for watching. If you watched this entire thing, that's kind of crazy, okay? Once again, this was not made for entertainment purposes, really. It was just me going, good job, I read a book. But if you did watch, thank you very much. Okay, this is a very irregular video that I don't usually make on my channel. I have a lot of cool, entertaining stuff. So if you're actually new here and you watch the entire video, welcome. Go check out my channel, because I put a lot of effort into a bunch of the videos that I make, and they are actually fun. I have movie reviews and physical media reviews, and I'll have short videos on like manga reviews and stuff like that. So anything horror is gonna be on my channel, and you should go check it out because I put a lot of effort into it. Also follow me on Instagram. Okay? Also, if you're a regular viewer of my channel, this entire month of April is probably going to suck. Okay, I'm sorry, but I am actually in college, believe it or not, and I have finals and final projects, and I'm literally traveling every single weekend, so I have almost zero time to be doing anything. So if like there aren't really as many videos this month, I apologize, or if they just kind of suck or feel like rushed, that's why. All right, but in the month of May, I have a big that's going to be the big plan. Okay, we have the new series coming out in May. From novel to nightmare. I also want to do a franchise killer episode in May, and maybe like a movie review and stuff like that. So May is going to be a very big month for my channel, and hopefully that will get you excited, because the month of April is probably going to suck kind of bad, but I'm going to see if I can get more shorts out, because I'm lacking on my channel right now, and I apologize. I'm trying. That's about it. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in a future video. Peace.